Exodus chapter 33, verse number 12. Then Moses said to the Lord, see, you say to me, bring up this people, but you have not let me know whom you will send with me. Yet you have said, I know you by name, and you have also found grace in my sight. Now therefore I pray, if I have found grace in your sight, show me now your way, that I may know you and that I may find grace in your sight, and consider that this nation is your people. Verse 18. And Loyd said, and Gerald said, please, please, I beseech you. Anybody? I beseech you, I beseech you. Show me your glory. Would you tell God, please, show me your glory? My assignment, I believe, to the body of Christ internationally in the last day is to help to bring the people of God to an understanding of what it means to experience and walk in the glory of the Lord. And this has been in my life for many years now. When I was a young preacher, barely, I was still a baby. I was 25 years old, started to pastor, and at that time I'd been around church all my life, and I'd seen the good, the bad, the ugly. I'd seen all of that, and yet there was something inside of me that wanted something with God that I had not seen before. And the interesting thing is that God set me among a people, in a church of people, that after God dealt with us for a time, they took on the same consuming desire for the presence and the glory of God that I had. And together we experienced something that was so stupendous. In fact, the glory of God was so intense that a young lady who'd been walking with God for years said she walked into our congregation, and she said she was the executive to a bishop. I mean, just walking with God. And she said when she walked in the building, the glory of God was in such manifestation that all of a sudden she felt unsaved. The glory of God was, and nobody, it wasn't a guilt trip. It was just that when Isaiah finds the presence of God and he sees the glory of God and the train of God fills the temple, the first thing that Isaiah does is start repenting. Because when I compare myself to the glory of the awesome God, and when he shows himself to me, there are things that I used to tolerate in my own life, that I used to be satisfied it was okay, but when I find the presence of God, his presence begins to bring a conviction that causes me to understand. And it's not bad news. It's not bad news because as those things drop off, he opens the curtain, as it were, to the Holy of Holies and invites you in before the mercy seat. Have you ever sat on God's lap? And so I saw this, and it was just a wonderful thing. And so I've experienced this place in God over the course of my life, especially off and on over the years. And I believe that God has given me the assignment to say to the Church of Jesus Christ, you need to find and experience the glory of God. And so I just, as I was sitting there, I felt such a burden of this word in my spirit. Loyd, You have experienced some of everything in life. I mean, you've got an awesome environment here. The church here is unlike any church that I've ever gone into, and yet God is saying to me to tell you that there is another dimension of relationship with God that he has earmarked for you. But he needs somebody to lift their hands in this place and say, God, please show me your glory. Somebody lift your hands and ask God, please show me your glory. I've seen your finger, I've seen your power, but now I need to see your glory. What is glory? A lot of us don't experience it because we don't know what it is, and then some of us don't experience it because we're scared. But let me tell you something. If the trial didn't kill you, the glory won't. Tell somebody, if the trial didn't kill you, the glory won't. The trial was to prepare you for the oh God. The trial was to prepare you for the glory. And if the trial didn't kill you, when the glory shows up. What is glory? Well, the Hebrew word for glory, the glory of God, is the word kabode. And I don't like to get into pronouncing words. I'm not trying to be deep, I promise you. I'm just trying to explain this to you. The word is kabode, and it actually means his essence. The word actually means his weight. Help me say weight. What does God weigh? What happens when God comes into a place and starts to throw his weight around? Oh, is there anybody here? What happens in this house when God shows up and starts to throw his weight around? What happens in the temple of Solomon when God shows up and starts to throw his weight around? Well, one of the things that happens is the priest who was supposed to be ministering cannot minister because God shows up and starts ministering for himself. Help me say glory. Help me say. What is glory? Let's bring it a little more practical. What is glory? Glory comes down to this: relationship with God. Help me say relationship. Say it again. Relationship with God. It comes down to this. It comes down to this, that I begin to recognize that I have the opportunity to in my spirit to relate to God one-on-one, one-to-one, even as Moses did when he went up into the mountain for those 40. You remember the story of Moses. He goes up into the mountain and he's there for 40 days and he's in the presence of God, and when he comes back down, his face is shining to the place that the Israelites, who did not understand the glory, they couldn't stand to look at him because of the shine that was on his life. And so they had to cover his face with a veil so that they could hang. Listen. God says, I want to put such a shine and such a glow on you that people who don't understand and don't want to walk the way that you walk can't stand to be around you. Somebody lift your hands and shout glory. What is glory? What is glory? Glory is relationship. Glory is when that something inside of me begins to say, God, I just want you. I want to see you face to face. I want to experience you one-on-one. Oh God, thou art my God. Early will I seek thee. My soul thirsteth for thee. My flesh longeth for thee in a dry and thirsty land where no water is. I want to see your power and your glory. What is glory? One thing have I desired of the Lord, that will I seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord and to inquire in his temple. What is glory? As the heart panteth after the water brook, so panteth my soul after thee, O God. Glory is that inside of me that says my life is really not outside, but my life is on the inside. And that which is inside of me affects that which is on the outside of me, rather than that which is on the outside affecting that which is... I think you missed that. Glory is when that which is inside of me affects my circumstances instead of my circumstances affecting that which is inside of me. Glory!